Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Thank you for tuning in. As we wait for Foodie Beauty to re-emerge, what I wanted to do today was take a look at the live stream that she did right before the catnapping, because there are some interesting things that she said about herself and about Kuwait, and I want to compare them to her sentiments roughly 48 hours later. So let's get to it. Now, before we take a look at the clips, what I want to do is set the stage for you. In this stream, Foodie had just gone to that very same park where the catnapping ultimately occurred. So this was her first trip there. She went again the next day with Salah, and that is when the crime took place. So in this stream, as she's leaving the park, she was going back and forth with her chat, and she had the following to say. Foreshadowing, perhaps?
Alright, let's head down towards the store. Breaking the rules. Breaking the law. Breaking the law. I'm not a perfect angel. I don't think I'll ever be. So if I have to spend some time in purgatory.
So the store that she is referring to is the grocery store because Foodie wants cheese. And she starts talking about it continuously, almost obsessively. She says she wants to buy cheese, but she doesn't want to get ripped off. And then she says she wants to go to the House of Cheese, which I believe is a store. And then she tells Salah, who was in the chat, she tells him to set a goal for cheese. Let's have a listen to this because I think it's very interesting and quite pertinent to what is going on currently.
So I want to kind of save my cheese budget for the cheese store tomorrow. What do you think? Babe, set a goal for cheese store. They're expensive cheeses. We need. They have it's a house of cheese, so maybe they have cheese curds for real puts in. That would be cool. They have all kinds of cheese. Plus, they have a little restaurant you can get sandwiches and stuff. You know that cheese house sandwiches are going to be the bomb.com. Am I a grifter? Hey. We already know I'm a grifter, so stop.
So, grifting for cheese. Soliciting donations for cheese. And then goes on to admit that she is a grifter and we all know it, so hey. As if it's funny. As if it's something to be proud of. And we'll get back to being proud of being a grifter in a bit. But this is all very funny to her. So funny, in fact, that there's a song. Let's have a listen to that as well.
I'm a grifter. I'm a drifter.
Now she's doing a play on words of an actual song. However, the fact that she took that song and made it about grifting is very telling. And again, it speaks to the fact that she thinks it's funny and that she's proud to be a grifter. And this is the crux of the matter which neither Foodie nor her Beezers understand. It's not about saving a cat, which no, she did not save a cat because she took it from its mother, and that is not saving. She wasn't adopting the cat because to adopt means that there is no family. But I digress. The point is not that she was trying to save a cat as she claimed, but the fact that she was soliciting donations made directly to her PayPal, which could then be diverted for personal benefit. Here, she's soliciting donations for personal benefit, the personal benefit being that she's going to buy herself cheese. It's the same thing. It's the solicitation of donations, which is the bigger problem, and that's what they fail to understand. Now, again, keep in mind that this stream was 24 hours before the catnapping and roughly 48 hours before she found out that Paws Kuwait was filing charges against her. And while the latter half of this stream was her proclaiming what a great grifter she is, she also had certain sentiments to share about Kuwait. And I think these are interesting as well. Let's have a listen.
Everyone is so nice here, though. Honestly, I love it. Honestly, Kuwait is the best. The Middle East. You guys, I'm telling you. If you have any prejudices or any preconceived notions about the Middle East, you have to come and check it out. It's so cool.
My, how quickly those sentiments changed. And all it took was for somebody to tell Foodie Beauty that she couldn't do what she wanted to do, that she couldn't grift. We just heard her say that Kuwait is the best, that she loves it there. 48 hours later, she told us that she can't live somewhere where she can't express herself, that she needs to get out of there, that she can't be there, that we don't know how hard it is for her to not be able to say what she wants to say, although in that regard, I think she was referring to Salah. This also points to a larger issue with Foodie Beauty. Foodie has no internal core. She has no sentiments of her own. She has no thoughts of her own. She has no beliefs of her own. If she is talking to Pete's, she'll incorporate what Pete's is saying into her persona. If she's talking to Salah, she'll incorporate what Salah is saying and make it her own. She even did this with the one who shall not be named. We have seen her do this with her boycotts. She'll say that she's boycotting a company and she'll state why, only for her to quickly turn around, most recently in record time, and not follow through. That's because she's parroting somebody else's beliefs. And it's the same thing here with Kuwait. Maybe she does in fact like Kuwait, but the moment that she encounters a challenge, she is ready to ditch it. Same thing with the Starbucks. The moment she got a craving for Starbucks, there go all of her beliefs about boycotts and everything else that she had to say. Foodie is not steadfast in her own opinions. She has no convictions. This is both dangerous for her and dangerous for others. Let me explain. Her not having any core beliefs, values, convictions of her own make her susceptible to people like the one who shall not be named. Make her susceptible to people who are romance scammers because they know that they could shape and mold and manipulate her in the way that they wish. At the same time, it's dangerous to other people because she could morph herself into what she thinks they need, and then she can turn around and scam them in return. And we've seen that play out here with Salah. Yes, we've talked about how he's a romance scammer, but she has also scammed him by pretending to be a revert, by pretending to be all of these things, by parroting all of his thoughts and whatever the case may be, trying to align herself with him when in reality she doesn't really care. So it's two-pronged. It hurts her, but it also hurts other people. That's why she's ready to ditch him and have him pay the price for what's primarily her crime, or her repeated crimes rather. But wait, there's more, because there's a song about Kuwait and how much she loves Kuwait as well. Let's have a listen.
And there's nowhere in the world I'd rather be than here in Kuwait.
There's nowhere in the world she'd rather be than here in Kuwait. 48 hours later, she proclaimed, "Canada bees forever." And just like she has dropped boycotts and health journeys and everything else in record time, she dumped Kuwait in record time. Now, there are two more things that I do want to mention. One is that she was becoming more and more hyper throughout this stream. As you can see, she was singing, her mood was getting very uplifted. And then the next day, when she did the catnapping, we saw just how frenzied she was. how erratic. And if you look at the images in this video and compare her face to what she looked like in the catnapping stream, she looks very, very different. In this one, although she's talking about grifting, she's being much more lighthearted. In the cat streaming video, there's a darkness there. There's a smugness. There's a defiance there. A portrayal of two completely different personalities in 24 hours time. Another thing that occurred in this stream, and it was just casually mentioned without detail, Foodie did bring up the fact that she had to plan for her 12-hour live stream. So this is something which was on her mind. She didn't really look into it. She didn't ask anybody for suggestions on what to do, but the fact that she brought it up tells us that she was thinking about ending the month strongly. And then, of course, we know everything that has happened since then. So that was everything that occurred 24 hours before she catnapped the baby. That is all I have for you right now. Thank you so much for listening, and until the next one.